I just came back from spearfishing, caught one fish. When I was spearfishing and diving, I thought about Musashi, swordsmanship. The fish moves and you take the opportunity to spear the fish. If you're too early, too not well prepared, it doesn't work. And you have to mind how very calm. And he did it as samurai. Had the duel of 36 or some such number, very high, and he won all of them. Wrote a book afterward. Warren Buffett. Not everybody knows that he is a great investor. He had put safety margin of what he wanted to do. He studied from early age, and he looked for the sustainable competitive advantage in the company and valued law. So he won, in a way, invested and high return. Some mistakes he may have admitted, but amazing result. So I think Warren Buffett and Musashi Miyamoto is his last name, from I think 16th or 17th centuries, had something in common. Preparation, clarity, in the moment, take opportunity, safety margin. I don't know if Musashi had a choice to fight against, but it's given, and he won. Warren Buffett had not the soldier, the swordman, samurai, but the same thing, to evaluate what's good and bad, what can be done, what's the intrinsic value of this company. So I see them doing the same, and what it means to me is that the preparation is, of course, necessary, but in the moment, samadhi, I feel, whether you call that a samadhi or not, have a calm and quiet mind. Cool, calm, quiet, make evaluation, make good judgment. And when opportunity arises, you take action. I contrast it to my problem I had this morning. I had an opportunity, I thought, of getting some cheap flight. I think that was from Tokyo to Hawaii. Actually, I had already reservation, but just going through the website, I found one. And without thinking much or reading the detail, I made the judgment, and I canceled the previous reservation. Then after a while, I noticed that I made a mistake. So in that case, I thought the idea may be there, and the opportunity could be there, but I read it wrong, and I didn't evaluate. So that's a black dot. I mentioned about my black dot exercise when I have some problem, upset sense that I get. Then every day I monitor, and if there's an issue like that, I put the black dot. Major issue is a big dot. This is, sizable size, medium level. But I stopped doing it about 2 months ago because I didn't have any black dot for a long time. So I became perhaps complacent, and this happened. Same thing when you do the spear fishing and when you shoot. That's the timing that you have to be appropriate. But I made a mistake. The fish was there, that was big enough, and I was ready to go. But for some reason, I thought I needed to check if the safety was on and off. And just 2 seconds later, I checked. The fish was already gone. So in that case, I didn't take action at the time when I had the chance. I was fairly confident I had the safety on, but this time, maybe because of this transactions for the airplane ticket, I wanted to make sure. So it didn't come out right. I wanted to be in samadhi and not make mistake, because when you miss the shot, then you take time and put the spear back on and put the rubber set. It takes 5 minutes, maybe more. In the meantime, you may lose the opportunity, so you have to make a judgment. So I had a system I developed that I have certain position of finger when everything is ready. And I had it, but I tried to confirm. So that's the story. And along with that, I had more stories to go with it, but maybe that's good enough. I just want to make sure that preparation, clarity, confidence, and take action when the opportunity is there. When there's doubt, well, like in this case, I didn't prepare well. I shouldn't have had the doubt. So that's part of the experience and getting used to it. And the environment is new from Santa Monica, and the fish is different, and the situation is different. So, but there's something to be considered. Let me say one more thing. We had certain vision and desire, like in this case, go out fishing, do the exercise, clear water, clean up my mind. And in samadhi, which I didn't practice as much. And when you go through these things, I thought about Warren Buffett wanted to go into the investment area and Musashi into the swordsmanship, samurai. In my case, I was curious to experience life, so I didn't want to get just to choose one, but moved on one to the other. So it's like a kid's learning. If the experience level is not high, then you make mistakes. But if you don't have single focus or certain focus and jump around, like in my case, from location, different location, another location to travel, and also unfamiliarity, because you may not have spent as much time as those who spend time on spearfishing under certain conditions. So it's a balancing act. So one point I noticed at the end, as I came back, the entrance of my house, I have a Chinese character I put, which says, small desire, learn, enough is enough. So, great vision, mission that you have is okay, but have calm and quiet mind so that the envy of other people or too much pressure I put myself to achieve something, then you get unbalanced situation. These are common sense, as Charlie Munger often talk about. And he even say, don't get envy because you won't be happy if you're envious of others. But I thought about it. Sense of envy, that's just like a small envy, may be good to stimulate, not too much, like a small desire, not a big desire, and learn appropriately. So Daisetsu Suzuki says, if you are a pine tree, don't try to become a bamboo tree. Don't be too envious, too crazy about some idea. So know yourself, know the environment, and make a choice. Like Sun Tzu story of how to win the war. So last lesson continues at 76. I make mistake. Well, after I couldn't get the fish, I got the fish, not the same one, because I aligned myself with samadhi and connected to the heart. No rush. And I got the fish. So life continues. Various experiences happen. Some are not as you expect. But like in this case of a airplane ticket reservation, I have a safety margin in a way that I have mileage program accumulated so that I can use that basically free of charge because I accumulated, but still it has a money value. So in this case, I have to cancel that because of my mistake. And then I realized that it's not a big deal because I can pay by cash. Because my amount of the mileage program that I have, it's getting less and less. So eventually it's get to the point, so there's a safety margin and I have financial stock to play with. So don't be bothered. But these little details count. Because that's how we live. More stability, more confidence, more alignment, samadhi, and make a decision at the right time, at the right situation, which fit to the way you want to live and be happy. Well, that's one way I can characterize I'm living. Then, at the last point, the safety margin is, whatever we do, if you are one with the way of the universe, with samadhi, whatever the past, whatever the visions you had in the future, whatever the case is, there you are aligned. Be with the way of nature. To me, that's fantastic. And I can relate to that. So that's always a case that when I have those black dots, I go through Shila Samadhi Panya or PDCA and all that to align myself. Every now and then, black dots happens. And then I'll die eventually. But let's have clarity in what we do, why we do. Mistake would happen as a human being, how to deal with it, and live life that makes sense for you and makes sense from the point of view of way of the universe, and ideally with the way of the society so that you don't cause trouble, but help with the idea of may all beings be happy. So let's keep working. If it makes sense, or if it doesn't, please give me a feedback. I keep learning. I'm still like a kid learning. I have scars, and I get little scars more, but hopefully I can navigate my life more or less as the master of my destiny, or ultimately at the core of it. Thank you.